All right, folks, welcome to the show. Welcome to another edition of Politics, Weekly Politics here with a special guest coming today. My friend, my colleague. Well, as soon as he's in studio, we was beginning the show. But today, welcome to the show. Welcome to Talk TV Media Network. Folks, my name is Sam Gadu here today, the host at Talk TV Media Network. Nothing today is politics. What is it that is trending in Liberia? A lot to talk about today. You know, as many of you are already aware, the Unity Party will be picking their vice president this week. So that is trending. That's one aspect. We want to know the importance of a VP. How crucial is it for Joseph Numa-Boakai and the Unity Party, as well as the Liberian people? What is it that the Liberian people have to say? So today we want to hear from you. Other issues are taking place in the country as well that we would love to talk about, but when my guests come up, we will be able to talk along with my colleagues. So today, folks, even as you sit patiently waiting for us to begin the show, why not enjoy yourself a little bit while we take this break? Thank you. Kapow, 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 Kapow. Oh man, one of our best pellet music collection right there. Those of you who are watching and following us, today is going to be a special session here at Talk TV Media Network. Again, today is the 26th of April 2023. So welcome to the show. All of you who are watching, share the platform, share the broadcast on your various platforms. Again, my name is Sam Gadu. Today we'll be delving into issues that face the nation of Liberia. And one of them is the current report that just came out by the U.S. Ambassador Michael McCarthy, to Liberia, Mr. Ambassador Michael A. McCarthy, who is the current ambassador assigned to Liberia. He came up with a very strong statement of findings after he toured all 13 counties of Liberia. And it is very strong. If this doesn't send a strong signal to the George Weah-led government, what else will? Any well-meaning Liberian will want to get a copy of this, and read it. I got my copy. I had to print it out because we are going to delve into it. Liberian men say we're going to chew it pieces by pieces right here, so we can see what is important inside it for the Liberian people to hear, to understand. And even those who are in government that do not understand, because some people don't like to listen to radio or even to watch online meaningful platforms like Talk TV Media Network, platforms that bring information that is true, fact, and factual, unbiased, because we are not a political entity. While I await my guests to come, I am going to jump right into the issues and discuss and start, discussing the issues. But the biggest news on the block for the week, what's trending, is the Unity Party. Joseph Numa Boakai will be picking his VP this week, to be exact, Come Friday, April 28th. The Liberian people will know who is capable if anything happens in government. If Joseph Numa Boakai is even elected as president, well, his VP has the capacity or will be qualified enough to run the country, the state of affairs of the nation of Liberia. So we want to find out. Let me bring that on the floor while I wait my guest. Who is it? Come Friday, will Joseph Numa Boakai be picking? We'd love to hear from you. Those of you who are insiders, who like the G's, the politics, the findings, wherever you are, we'd love to hear from you. If you know anything, let us know. But because we have our guys inside there too, we already know. Some of us are already aware, but we want to find out. We want to hear from you because we have a couple of names that are trending, right? A couple of names that are trending. The likes. Would it be the bombshell? Is Joseph Numa Boakai willing or to pick a bombshell that would get the media going frenzy or the Liberian community going frenzy? By that I mean this guy, ANC political leader. What's in the making? What's talking behind closed door? This right here. What is it that could be happening behind closed door? Well, this guy, remember, that's his longtime friend, Alexander Cumming, political leader for the ANC. Is he willing to go as VP? Is the collaboration willing to come together for defeating the common enemy, quote unquote? That George Weah is a common enemy. The CDC is a common enemy. Is that true? If that is true, are they willing to come together to defeat that common enemy? We are not the ones saying that. The politicians and the opposition are the ones saying that George Weah is a common enemy. The CDC is a common enemy. But is Joseph Numa Boakai willing to come together along with Cummings? These two guys, are they willing to shake hands? Are they willing to join hands, to come together and be a part Can they even defeat the CDC? Because we know in time past, to unseat a certain precedent is difficult. It's hard. You have to fight. Put all jokes aside. This is not the Western world. This is Africa. Money speaks. Money speaks different languages. Liberian have a saying that money, ... I will not finish that because I'm not national media. But money talks. Money run elections. And the CDC, the George Weah-led government, they have the money. They have the moolah. Because the government been running for almost 5, this is a 6-year term. No accountability. The Liberian currency is printed. We don't know how many millions and billions of dollars is printed. The Liberian dollar has a $1,000 note. We don't know how many of them printed. The money is being stolen. You see? So these guys have money. I'm just giving you the basis how campaigns are ran in Africa. It's money. It has to do with money. Does the opposition have money? It's just far more than character, right? And anyone in the civilized world would think character is very key. Character is very important, right? You want to put someone in place who has character, who has integrity, right? And you would think of people like Tewan Gonglo then, people who have exhibited character. You would think of him, someone who has served the country, former president of the Liberia Bar Association. The man want to sweep Liberia out of corruption. This guy. Then you have this guy, Alexander Cummings. People with character. You have Yomli Conga Lawrence. But guess what? This is what's trending. In the midst of all the character, in the midst of all the integrity, where is Ambassador Joseph Numa Boakar leaning? Is he leaning towards Nimba County? Senator Jeremiah Kuhn? You see how Jeremiah Kuhn made a finger? He said, a little bit, just a little bit, I will be there. Is that true? Or will it be Alexander Cummings? Because this will be a bombshell. And many pundits, many political pundits and analysts will not even think that this is doable. Looking at the bad blood that had transfused or transpired in the collaboration, the infighting, the breaking of agreements that is signed, running away, say I signed but I didn't sign, all of that, the deceit. Where are these guys? What is happening? Are they willing to reconcile, to come together, as in today, for Liberia, for the sake of Mama Liberia? We must come together as a people. Because they have not responded to the petition that they just received. All those political collaborating parties just received just a few weeks ago by the citizens united for the collaboration, demanding and asking the Unity Party, the ANC, to come together, to come back together. They haven't responded. All of them are mute. Why? Because they are so power drunk, so power greedy. Everybody want to become president, just like Sonny God said. Everybody want to become president in Liberia. And this is what's deceiving. This is what's destroying the nation of Liberia. We want to hear from you. As small as Liberia is, 43,000 square miles. Can you imagine? We already have about 27 political parties aspiring to run. 27, y'all. I'm telling you. 27. 22 or 23, I think NEC could qualify. Tell me, as little as Liberia is, everyone is thinking in their mind that the only way for survival in our country is they have to be in government, because they think now that government is a place of souls, not a place of service, a place where they think you can go and steal the taxes of the poor people, the resources of the country. That's the mindset of everybody now. They think that government is a place where you can go and steal. Everybody want to be senator in Liberia. Everybody want to be representative. Everybody want to be minister. Nobody think that business is probably the best way to go anymore. Nobody think that healthcare is the best place to be. Nobody cares that being in a classroom as a professional teacher is the best place to be. All those professions that runs the country, they don't think. So everybody want to be in government. Everybody want to be in government. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? That's what we're talking about. But as important as the pick of the president, vice president is, Liberians need to realize that they need to pick someone who has first the fear of God. First, the fear of God. 2, love of country. Love of country. And 3, one who is willing to be accountable to the people. 4, one who thinks that the job of presidency or any government position is a service job. You are being hired, you are being employed by the Liberian people, and you are there to produce, to serve the Liberian people. Until these 4 things, one can have those qualifications, Liberia will keep languishing in poverty. Because when someone elects you, when you elect most of our people in government, they think that's it, they got it, right? They think there's nothing else. They don't want to serve you. Instead of them becoming of service to the public, to the very constituents or the people that elected them, now they want those people to serve them. The other way around. Ridiculous. You can't do that in a Western world. You get fired. We employ you. The fact that the Liberian people can leave their time to go to the ballot box and vote and elect you, you ought to know that you have no reason doing them a disservice. It is your job to compliment them by saying, you have selected me, you have appointed me, you have given me a piece of job to do, so I am accountable to you. I must do it diligently. Diligently. Folks, this is what Liberia is facing. This is what we, the nation of Liberia, is confronting right now. Leadership crisis. Leadership crisis. That is what's going on. Leadership crisis. Love of country. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a millionaire or billionaire, right? But you must have character, dignity, character. That when you say this, you're going to do it. When you say A, you're going to say A. You can't say A, then you go do B or Q or K. When you say A, you must do A. That is it, folks. That takes me right after this break, right, to discussing this lengthy 2-page, almost 3-page Ambassador McCarthy statement. While I'm waiting for my guests to show up, I'm here to entertain, to give you, just to lay the groundwork for you, because today we will discuss the issues that concerns the nation of Liberia. These are national issues we're supposed to talk. People are going in and coming out of Liberia, and the information that we are getting, it's not pleasant. The information that we read on daily wires, it's not pleasant for the nation. So we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to discuss all of this, folks. I'm telling you. Why I'm looking for Soniga. Where? Let me see. Enjoy. White cow.
That on money red cow. That is still white cow. One on money black cow. Yo yeah before. Yo yeah. That is white cow. That on money red cow. That is still white cow. One on money black cow. We not here for it. We got paid their trade. It's time for us to pull it together. Move our country power. Let's stop the hate. Pushing fake messages. Let us stop the honor money. Yeah. All in Liberia, overseas. You paint your country black. You feel style on social media. You are welcome. No need no blame. All the money black out. You let's stop it. All the hate messages you preaching, you not doing it to the black out. You doing it to the people, the poor people. The people you claim to love, the people you want to rule. That is work out, that on the money work out, that is still work out. One on the money black out, you hear it before. No, yeah. That is work out, that on the money work out, that is still work out. One on the money black out, we not here for it. We got baby a trade. Work out, making us hating one another. Encouraging others for our country need. We should go and demonstrate. You will be there. Demonstrate, yeah. Let me ask you, work out. When we for our country, who will help us face it? They say, no, work out, say, no. When you bring out a hand, who will help us settle it? They say, no, work out, say, no. Taking shock out of getting power. We not yet for that kind of flower. Work out, get black out, the chance. We are one. We are one. Get past it, then we are the chance.
Okay. Folks, welcome again to this edition of Midweek Politics here at Talk TV Media Network. My name is Sam Gadu. Welcome as we await our guests for the day. We will continue to go into the issues of the day. National issues are very crucial. These are issues that are affecting our people. These are issues that the Liberian people in true reality are confronting. If you, at the end of the day, do not have safe drinking water, if you do not have constant electricity, if you do not have good roads, if there's no good healthcare system in the country, these are basic human services that should be provided to the people by their government, not just Liberia, but around the globe. Every well-meaning leader who has the opportunity to serve should champion these: healthcare, good roads, education, right? Safe drinking water, electricity. These are things that people need to survive. And if you do this, if you provide this, believe me, Liberians will not bother you. They will not bother you. They will go on with their daily normal businesses. Liberians are not lazy people. They're not lazy people. Most of those people you see begging out in the street in Liberia, it's their hard time. A hard time. Things are tight. Some of them are not beggars. It's just that there's no way. You turn on this side, no way. You turn on this side, no way. What do you expect? They say if mouth not tough for mouth, the belly will sleep hungry. That is why you see some of these people adult, well-meaning Liberians out in the street begging, begging for food, begging for jobs. Some of them will get up in the morning, someone will wake up in the morning and walk the streets of Liberia, Monrovia all day. No job. Going to knock at this one place for this one tiny job, even a sweeping job, a janitorial job. Come back tomorrow. Come back next week. Just even a driving job. Why? The reason is because the country is starving. The resources of the country are in the pockets of few. They are not being disseminated or rationed or given out. Just for those 5 or 6 basic services, human living conditions, services that I just mentioned. If those are provided, Liberians will live well. Liberians will do better. And this is all Liberians are asking. Every well-meaning leader in the country. Look at those boys that are out in the street. Those boys that we call the Zogos. You think every one of them want to be out there? It's simply because there is a lack of not having a good structure in place to train them, to retrain them, and reintegrate them back into society. The Zogos. How can you expect somebody child sleeping in a graveyard, man? Come on. Sleeping in a graveyard. The graveyard has become their bed, their houses, and they sleep. We call that this too is Liberia. For those of you who are not aware, that is Liberia too. That's part of it. Whether you believe it or not, that's the reality on the ground. Folks, oh, I have my guest right there in the background. Man, yeah, we're about to talk. Share the link on the various platforms, folks. Share. Welcome to the show. Let me bring my guest in right away because time is of the essence. Time is important. Welcome, Mr. Pacquiao. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Let me see if I can hear you.
Please use my title, Ambassador.
Okay. Yeah. I think I can hear you now. Welcome to the show. Welcome back from LRB, man. Welcome.
Thank you, CEO.
You look fresh. You're looking fresh, man.
Well, I'm from home, isn't it? I've coming from eating organic. I was actually dealing with organic strictly. So
all the organic food, all the palm butter, the casali, the real oil, all that stuff. It's
exactly so.
Away, my man.
You see, that's it. Exactly so. So, I mean, what a way to come back to the UK. After 4 or 5 months in Liberia. It's a pleasure to be here. Been a long time.
I know. Thank you for honoring the call. We
Indeed.
need this. The people need this. The call is for the people. It's not for us. We always do this to make sure that the people that listen to us, the people that hear us, know that there is a voice out there for them. And with no further delay, I would just love to bring you into the show right away. You met me. What do you think? Let me just start it a family way. What's your assessment? You just come in from Liberia. Talk to us. What does it look like in Liberia? Is Liberia hard, my man? The way we see things going on, like the people enjoying over there. Is Liberia hard?
Well, thank you very much, CEO. To be honest with you, as far as our observation is concerned, after 4 months there, we have come to realize that indeed Liberia is even harder to live now as compared to even 10 years ago. So you can just imagine now. So obviously, I must admit, the country is hard, and we're talking about being hard. We're talking about hardship. People living in destitute condition. Young children that you don't even believe that they have heard anything about suicide, are now committing suicide on their own. Young people, elderly people as well, and then people are even harming each other uh, absolutely out of nothing. I mean, because if I say nothing, how can you murder somebody for eating your chicken? That doesn't make sense. So this country, the country is going through serious trials and tribulations, and I think everything bogged down to perhaps what we have invested in terms of investing in war for
Mm-hmm.
14 years, which
Out of nothing. I
devastated,
mean,
yeah, which devastated the country. So it is unfortunate that we are at this stage, but then again, we have to come to the realization that we created it, and so we should accept it as well. So Liberia, to answer your question, yes, Liberia is very hard. Let me put it that way now.
Wow. Liberia
Very
is
very
very,
hard.
very, Liberia is very, very hard, as you have heard from the horse's mouth. I mean, this is someone who just came literally just less than a week, from Liberia, having spent almost, as you heard him, 4 to 5 months in Liberia. And we already have people who go in every day. We're getting up to date information. But
Yeah.
let's delve into the issues, right? We have
Hmm.
Joseph Nyuma Boakai, the Unity Party,
Yeah.
will be picking the vice president. His vice president this Friday. Hmm? We've heard of
Hmm.
different names in the corridors, in secret corners, wherever, and we would love to talk about that because I was just like I mentioned earlier. I want you to elaborate and talk a little bit about the importance of a vice president. The thought that Joseph Numa Boaka need to give to. Is he thinking in a direction? Is he looking at the general scope? As in, if something happens, this person is ready from day one to succeed you.
Yeah.
This is what will the Unity Party, are they willing to welcome whoever that he pick? Forget
Hmm.
about all the frenzy. We're looking at the qualification. We're looking at the connections in and out of the country as well. It's not just locally, right? If you think
Yeah.
Liberia is all inside Liberia, you lie to yourself. Liberia is more than just those that live in Liberia. Because when you just look at the remittances of money that comes into the country from Liberians overseas alone yearly, is in millions.
Yeah.
It will impact
I
the
agree with you.
economy. Huge. But talk to us. Has
Yeah.
Joseph Newman Barker given thought to what he's about to do come Friday? What's your take?
Hmm. Well, thank you. If you say what, if you ask the question as to whether he have given thought, as far as his age is concerned, as far as his experience is concerned in administration and everything, as far as his patriotism is concerned, uh, obviously, I wouldn't actually ask a question like that because I mean he is inclined and he knows exactly what he is doing, and actually by virtue of the fact he actually know exactly uh, what he's up to as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in terms of perhaps the Fridays, Friday that people are talking about, that they are anticipating that Ambassador Joseph Nyomo Boakai, former vice president, will be naming his running mate. Uh, uh, Whatever it is, uh, for me, actually, I've been hearing about this issue and people trying to promote one person and another person or so. I decided actually, even though as a social justice advocate, perhaps I have a future fry in it, but I decided to just keep mute on it because the fact that remains is that, let me be honest, as far as the issue of vice presidency is concerned, except wherein, like in the case of perhaps Ambassador Jose Boakai, where our constitution states that at least you can, or one can, a president can contest twice or go for 2 terms, except wherein that comes into or question, especially if the capability will be there that he will be able to carry on for 2 terms. Then obviously the issue of vice presidency, I don't think it should be. it should be a problem, for people. And I was in Monrovia quite recently, and had a lot of interviews with the journalists and thing. And one of the things I left them with was this: that to tell the Liberian people that actually our focus, CEO, our focus should be at the Capitol building. Our focus should be in that building. Our focus should be in reminding whoever that wins the election, reminding them that their responsibility is to appoint people who are capable, who are prepared, who are God fearing to serve within the judiciary branch of our governing system. But as
Hmm.
far as choosing the running mate is concerned, as vice president, for me, honestly, I don't think it should be a big deal. It shouldn't be a big deal that, if you don't choose this other person, it means that you are not going to govern well. Also, we all know, as far as that the position is concerned, is more of ceremonial position, wherein, I mean, we all saw it in the past also. Uh, if the president herself or himself is in good rapport with the vice president, normally the president will just continue doing their own thing and forget about the vice president. So that comes into being. Uh, Ambassador Joseph Numa Boakai, I don't think people should really, really be focusing too much or pressing on the choice that he is going to make.
No,
I'm
but
I'm
no, no, no,
sure.
but Mike, let me interject you, just please, just a second, right there. I may differ with you just slightly, as in as much it's that position is a ceremonial position, right? It's very important. The importance that it brings to the table is, we know the Omed, let's say it like other people are, probably he might be running for one term. Others are saying he's old. But whether he's old or not, when you are sent to the presidency, anything can happen. The reality is within Africa. It's not like, yeah, somebody could die in office, somebody could get overthrown or whatsoever, or it could be a terminal illness wherein the president is not capable to function. So then comes in the vice president. So the role of the vice president, don't you think it has to be someone that role should be given a serious thought, as in if any of these events occur, right? This person is ready and willing, not just willing but ready to assume the presidency and run the country with no problem, because maturity and knowing how governments runs is very key. So, and also this president, the vice president, presides over the Senate, though.
Yeah.
So when it comes to important votes, who breaks the tie? The vice president comes in to break the tie. So it's very key. He plays a very important role. What do you think?
Yes.
So do you not think that Joseph Numa Boakai should give this a serious thought?
This is my point about people who have been talking about the issue that Ambassador Bwaka is wasting time. He's taking too much long time and whatever. But as far as, if I agree with you with what you have just outlined is concerned, uh,
Mhm.
then if you take everything into consideration, I mean, significantly, then it means that it is also a decision that one will have to be very careful how to make it, and one have to be very, very, very searchable, researchable as well, to make sure that those individual or any individual that you want to bring closer to you and lift up their hands and say, you are my running mate. It means that you have to work overnight, you have to pray overnight, you have to consult, you have to make sure that indeed you listen to views and opinions from every angle or so. So to
Right?
me, quite frankly, I don't think it's overdue. No, I don't want to believe that it's overdue. The search for the vice for his running mate. I don't think overdue. So my caution is that Liberian people, or whatever it is, this is a a man who who is very, I mean, who is very, very inclined as far as governing is concerned. This is a man that have served the country for so many years as well. So I think the Liberian people should give him the chance to make a choice. And I
Mhm.
don't think, and if I come back now to say, well, yes, um, comes Friday, this is the individual he's going to be put forward to his party and the Liberian people, those who actually believe in the ideology of the Unity Party, then obviously people should accept it and not to actually go about and say, oh no, we didn't expect it. No matter what, CEO, no matter what, whoever that Ambassador Barker is going to choose,
Right.
somebody will still have a qualm about it.
I know that.
So
That
yeah,
that is
so
evident, right?
yeah, so my only appeal to the Liberian people, especially those from the Unity Party, is to make sure that whoever the Omen is going to put for, let them accept it and then and move on. Because at the end of the day, they must. I mean, the reason it took so much long time, perhaps according to the people, the way the people saying that it's taking too much long, the reason is because you have to make consultation both internationally and nationally, and
Right.
think. So coming up with such a decision, I don't think he's going to just come or unilaterally as an individual to present somebody to them. So I hope they will accept it, and I hope they will take everything into
Do you do you
consideration.
do you think this is something that if that the something that he could easily open up to his party to say, what are you guys thinking? For some
Yeah,
sort of
but don't,
assessment or advice to say, what are you who are you guys thinking?
but
Just
see you.
for his own guidance.
Yeah, but see you. This is it. Get here with this empire you're building. You have the committee you have the committee that are running the show in the background. When you are having meeting, you don't call every one of us to be on the meeting, but rather the people that are running the show in the back and making sure that it's run. So obviously, the party does have what they call the National Executive Committee. The National Executive Committee is responsible to make decision for the party. So no one will tell me that indeed, since the search for the vice presidency started, um, that the party, the
Hmm.
standard bearer, never called a meeting as a national executive committee in the whether in the dark room or in the blue room or in the red room to say, okay, let's discuss this. We got 2, 3, 4, 5 names on the board. Let's see whether we can eliminate one after another, one after another. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure definitely that they must have done that already. So reaching to the stage, I don't think Liberian people should be surprised with anybody that will come up.
Okay, so I want us to look at certain personalities, the
Yeah,
personalities that are in the corridor, that are in the
thank you,
DC, that are trending right now, right?
thank you.
And some of it today, I heard some kind of news. It might be that Joseph Numa Boake might be pulling a big bombshell, a big bombshell. You never know what's going on because they
Everything
say
has to
the
be
old
bumped
man
there.
sleeping. They say the old man sleeping, but I don't know if he's sleeping at this point. Huh?
Yeah. Mhm.
But before I bring that bombshell up, I want to bring these personalities. Do you think that this lady, Yomli Kanga Lawrence, is a good fit for his pick? What do you think of her? Let's
I
give
will.
them very honest critique.
I will answer the question in perhaps in different angles. One, I respect her as a woman, and two, I would have actually loved for her to step in that position as well. But what we should also remind ourselves of is
Mhm.
that the fact remain, and this I agree, and you also many people will agree that Ambassador Joseph Nyumabakai might not go for 2 terms. That's 12 years. No, but then in terms of who is going to step in the shoes after the first term, after the first year, is is what we should be concerned of as well. Now, I do not know Honorable Lawrence for for long. I don't know her in terms of even going to search for her. I can't read much about her in terms as far as political science connection is concerned. So for me personally, speaking as a citizen of Liberia, concerned, let's say constituent of the Republic of Liberia, I would rather perhaps encourage her to continue building the empire a little bit instead of coming in right now. So if I was in the position of Honorable Joseph Nyuma Boakai, I wouldn't be giving her the position right now.
So look at her though. Other they're saying in the corridor. People could say easily if the Liberty Party could not be held up as leaders when it comes to Musa ability and her confronting each other, not being able to come to a common understanding. If they could not hold that party together, how in the world can she even hold Liberia together? Yes, I mean she could be a good pick as a female, right? From Grand Bassa. I mean Grand Bassa has a big voter turnout as well. And but the people of Bassa, is Liberia willing or ready to accept her now? Those are the things, right? But that yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if ask the question whether Liberian, I mean, this would be a divide rule as well, because at the end of the day, like I said, in the case of his pick, no matter who is going to pick, there will be resolution anyway. There will be resembling, reluctance in terms of responding negatively as well and positively. So, I mean, in terms of her being ready, there are others will say, "Oh yes, she's already prepared because she's already been in the Senate for years or whatever." So then there are others, including myself, that will say, "Well, to be honest with you, given the fact that what we are looking at, that the if at all." Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Boakai happened to win the election, it means that we all agree that indeed, or many of us have anticipated that he might go for only one term. And so for her to take the mantle of authority to continue from the blueprint, to me, I would see it a little bit, dringling. But if there was going to be for 2 terms that the president was going to go for, then I wouldn't mind as well, because that 12 years, within that 11 years or so, I think she could be equipped. She should have graduated from a lot of school or schools of thoughts as well, where in terms of international connection, president, sending her on an era, and she going outside there, engaging with the international community as well. But for the one-term issue, there where I got a problem. So for me, I would just let you, I mean, maybe call upon her as a mother, to say, well, let's continue building the empire in your domain for
So
tomorrow.
just like you, as many other Liberians, they all have their own bar and qualification as to what to meet. But that takes us to Nimba County. Jeremiah Kuhn, right? Another senator. I mean, what's your take, Jeremiah Kuhn? When you look at Nimba County, this is a young guy. Does he has the international connection besides just the voting, right? When you look at the popularity that he has in the country, he might be able to bring certain votes to the plate on the table. We see the likes like already Prince Weah Johnson, Senator Prince Weah Johnson, has already supported, endorsed the Unity Party. Joseph Nyuma Boakai candidacy, all of that stuff. What do you think if Joseph Nyuma Boakai will pick, if he picks Jeremiah Kuhn? What is he bringing to the plate for the Unity Party? What is he bringing?
This is another individual, quite frankly, and I would like to be blunt about it as well. Each time I see him on photo, whether somebody posting on social media or so, I see him like a very big stranger as far as the political arena of the Republic of Liberia is concerned. Very big stranger, strange man.
Stranger, you said.
To me, strange man to me, yeah. And this is, but most of the times now when people are talking or trying to analyze the political dilemma of Liberia. I mean, especially when it comes to voting, people would want to just be thinking about the numbers, and think, oh yeah, there's a number there. If we pick that person there, there's a number, there are numbers there, and think we'll get votes and whatever. But then I am looking at not only the numbers, but I'm looking at like what you said, what the individual is going to bring on board. I am looking at, even though you say he was in government for X number of years or so, but then what can we trace him about? Uh, I can't see anything that we can trace him about anyway. Perhaps if you want to only trace this, go in his little corner, in his county, and say maybe those that they can get one cup of rice to in the morning, perhaps are those are the only people you can trace and ask and as to what is he like, and maybe they can give you some description. So for me, he's one of the persons as well that I do have a serious question mark on, uh, in terms of what we have on the table, one term running, and then getting ready for him to take over as well. Within 6 years, is he going to be well equipped? Is he going to be internationally connected? I don't know. Um, 12 years, perhaps 11 years, perhaps that would have worked, in terms of, international exposures as well. But like I said, it all broke down to the ambassador himself. Uh, and for me, I will continue to say this again with a caution, especially the Unity Party people, that if the choice happened to come on Friday, they should just accept it. They shouldn't say that it was unilaterally done by Ambassador Joseph Numa Boakai. Let the party, let the people know, especially the little ones that have no idea about what they call the National Executive Committee, that have no idea about how the National Executive Committee of the party runs. They should be able to educate them that it was a one man decision, but rather a decision that was made by the National Executive Committee of the party,
What do you,
who is responsible.
what do you think of Mo Ali's appointment as SG for the party, Secretary General?
Well, I mean, uh, I think he was Assistant Secretary General before, and so bringing him back in the proper position, I I don't see anything wrong with
What do
it.
you,
I think he's qualified. I think the National Executive Committee did their work, did their vetting. He's their stoned partisan as well, and somebody that perhaps been contributing in the party, in every aspect, whether financially or morally as well. So I wouldn't have much fish actually to fry in that. It left with them.
so my thing to you, what I want to also comment on also is
Hmm.
when I saw that appointment, I was thinking, would it
Yeah,
make sense? Could it be in the best interest of Joseph Numa Boakai to form his government? Because when you form your government at this point, when you bring just a nucleus of it together for the Liberian people to see what your government will look like, they will buy
yeah,
into it. When people see the kind of people and personalities and characters that you bring around you, that these are people I will bring around the table. These are the people that will help me to run the government. If the Liberian people get to see that and they respect those people and they buy into those people, don't you think that that could be a plus for him? As in sitting down and waiting last minute, then here is appointment this way, appointment this way, appointment this way. What do you think?
what? Well, see, this is a party that the people are running, and party is an institution as well. It doesn't, it's not on the shoulder of one person. Like I'll keep saying, and they have the NEC. NEC, the National Executive Committee, is responsible for even making sure that in the all of those that are supposed to serve in an appointment position, except election, by
Mhm.
appointment position, they are always vetted. I was in the National Patriotic Party, and I knew about this. So obviously, uh, I mean, his appointment, I don't think it was just done by one individual, whether it's a standard bearer or the chairman of the party as well. I remember we've been meeting several times, and we'll have conversation. He's a level-headed guy. He's not the kind of a flamboyant person or so. So obviously, since the appointment. I don't think we have seen much of flashback or kickbacks from the partisans themselves to say, oh, we don't want him or whatever. No, uh, people started congratulating him, and things. So, Sam, I don't think the the party perhaps made a mistake or so, because this is their own son, and they decided that, look, it's time for you to step in and serve as a chief scrap for the unity party, the proper one.
What about that brings us, Mr. Pacquiao, to another personality, and
Mm,
I'm thinking, is the Unity Party or the Joseph Nima Boakai camp making a mistake by not reaching out to this person? Are they making a mistake because we're not hearing anything? Or if
yeah.
there's something going on, we'll know. What do you think? Here is a personality, Councillor
Hmm.
Tewon Gonglo.
Yeah.
I have never seen anybody who has talked and preached so much about corruption and want to sweep Liberia, out of corruption, and is willing and has the character and has the connections overseas as well. But yeah,
Hmm.
financially right now, the money is not there. Do you think that from the Bwake camp that this is a golden opportunity? Because the reason why I'm calling it a golden opportunity is there's no way, even if during the election they have to go into second round of elections, there's no way
Yeah.
I think Councillor Gonglo will support the CDC-led government. He has spoken adamantly about it. We follow him. This man has gone to over 13 counties in the country, visited in the trenches. This is, I think, someone that you want on your team, as in he knows he is in connection, that there is no disconnect with the people.
Hmm.
Because this was one of the main reasons the Ambassador Michael McCarthy talked about, that the government is in complete disconnect with the rural people. That Monrovia is not just the government. So this is what's happening. Do you think that Unity Party, by now, at this point, should have extended an olive branch to Tewon Gonglo as a running mate? He's capable. He's well able. What do you think?
Yeah. Yes. Tier one Gonglo, I do respect him, Councillor. Respect him a great deal. I've followed him for many, many years, serving as a human right advocate, serving as a human right um, promoter, and human rights defender as well. And he spent almost all of his careers in helping people get justice or
Hmm.
preaching for justice for the entire country. And I remember I must have gone to jail for some times as well. Yes, I agree with you that he is qualified and that he is capable of being in a position as even as a president of the Republic of Liberia. I am convinced about that as well. Yes, I will also agree with you that if you say or question as to why is it that the Unity Party is yet to extend a kind of an invitation to him and for them to have a discussion. This is it. You and I, perhaps, we are not behind the scenes. And so we have no idea as to whether talks have been going on, discussions have been put on the table. We have no idea about that. However, in my own token, I would have rather chosen Councillor Tiewon Gonglo over the first two individuals that you flagged out, because I know that in terms of connection, in terms of preparation, and even the messages that he been preaching around the country, all of it, all of the times of consultation with the Liberian people. the messages have been very, very clear, concise, and straight to the point. And I like the way he has been really, really consistent with his message to the Liberian people, to all of us,
Mm-hmm.
as to what is actually uh, needed to be done in terms of wanting to clean Liberia. And he explained things to us in a very simple manner. So I am mortally convinced that Councillor Tiawan Gonglo is prepared to be vice president, to be president as well of the Republic of Liberia. So I would be more joyous if I will hear his name on Friday that indeed he has been chosen as the vice president or running mate to Ambassador Joseph Nyomabuakai.
When you talk, as I sat here patiently listening to you and giving your analysis, about Honorable Council Gonglo right there being well able, not only you said not only for the position of vice president, but also for the position of president,
Yeah.
right? I think if by now, if the Unity Party, if the Joseph Numa camp cannot reach out at this point to collaborate things, to work as a team, to find ways to come together with the Gonglo team, I think they're making a mistake. Because just like you said, when you read a report that the ambassador gave, he has been able to accomplish one of the tasks that he came to Liberia to do, which is to tour all the 13 counties. He did, and he gave his report. Tewangonglo Council, Tewangonglo has done that.
Mm-hmm.
A poor man lawyer, the man doesn't have money, but with 3 cars and 4 cars, convoy, whatsoever, he chose upon himself to travel to all 13 counties.
Yeah.
Grassroots, villages. In fact, I was listening to one of the audio interview that interviewed him that the current president own hometown, his mother hometown, Weah, he has never been there. No running water there. Tewan Gonglo went there and stopped there. Liberians need leaders that are connected, not disconnected. Right? That is what. Now, my question is, has Judge Weah traveled to all 13 counties? He's the current president. He's supposed to be in tune with his people. He's supposed to be in touch, not just sending representatives, but because we see from this report that there is a complete disconnect.
Yeah.
Big disconnect, which we'll be discussing.
Yeah, indeed. It's a shame to even hear that going into 6 years that President George Weah is yet to visit the entire country from one county to another. And I remember that was a promise as well when he took power. And he said that he would go back and extend his thanks and appreciation to the people. To hear that even in his so-called county, he's yet to be there. It's it baffled me, and it's very shameful. And to hear also that Councillor Tiawon Gonglo, with respect to the analysis you just gave, you just given, he doesn't have money cash as compared to the rest of the guys or the guys that are at the front line. But yet he decided to say, well, no matter what, I got to take the message to my people, to our Liberian people. Let me interpret the message to them good. That the national government seated in Mosrada County in Monrovia, this is how not only this government, they have been running. And let me explain to you how they've been doing things. And so he been doing this, which I so much appreciate. I am so much in love with him. All of the messages are always really, really on point, to the extent I can just be wishing. I say, well, you know why? I think this guy become president, I'm sure the Liberian people will have their entire country back. But this is where we are, and I hope as well. Um, you can make a decision within the 24 hours. You can also change your mind.
Yeah,
So
that's the interesting part about politics, right? You
yeah,
can make it. I
so
mean, why people are thinking, why we
we're
analyzing all,
baffling.
giving all these analysis, and then the
Yeah,
bombshell will just boom, just like
that's
that.
it.
I mean, things
So
happen. That's the political arena.
yeah, that's it. And so for me, if I was an advisor to perhaps Ambassador Joseph Nyamobuokai, I would have been pushing the agenda of Councillor Tiawan Gonglo. But again, I would say, CEO, that
Mhm.
the choosing of the running mate or the vice president to Ambassador Joseph Nyamobuokai uh, was never ever done unilaterally by himself or he alone, but rather with the consent and of course the vetting of the National Executive Committee members.
So that means I hope the political arm and the spectators and all the partisans are prepared and ready, because when we hear that name Friday and we begin to analyze that individual, that personality, I hope they are willing, because even the supporters, some of the
Mhm.
supporters will support him, some of the supporters will not support him. Now, the party's responsibility is to be able to bring the people together. Those who will say no, they didn't pick our man, they didn't pick our leader, our personality. So I'm moving to a different party, right? And so that brings us, because
Yeah,
I heard stuff today that they're talking behind the scenes some way somehow, right? With
yeah.
this, could that be a bombshell come Friday? Could that be a bombshell that Boake might be announcing ANC leader comments? As his VP.
Um, CEO,
That
I don't
that
think
that would be a bombshell.
no. You know, anything that will happen on Friday, I'm not really going to, you know, uh, take it as a big surprise, a bombshell that will shake the entire country. No, uh, Cummins is also a serious man. I think Cummins is also, uh, I mean, a presidential material as he has been promoting himself as well. And there are people who also believe in him as well. And so he's not a stranger, you know. And I must admit here that I think he's even more well known than the Kun you're talking about. Let's be honest here.
Alexander
So
is Cummings is more well known than Jeremiah Kuhn.
of course, to me personally, I would say that, and I would say freely, like Liberian people can say. I would say freely. So, um, if the name Cummins happen to actually, be shout out by Ambassador Joseph Nyamobuokai, I don't think it should be a huge bombshell for people anyway. So he's not. I'm not quite sure. He's not a warlord, former warlord or so. We are not running after him to bring him to the War and Economic Crimes Court. We are not running after him to make sure that indeed the TRC have, reports you hook him up. No. So I'm only afraid of individuals who have question marks on their backs, unlike, you know, uh, just like Prince White Johnson. So for comments, I don't think we
So
should
so
take it as
so
a big
so so
bombshell.
so this is becoming very interesting. So
Yeah.
what I'm getting here is, if that person has no international criminal whatever going on, the Uncle Sam not chasing you or whatsoever, you got a clean slate, you know, or no corruption whatsoever. Even if the corruption is there, but if it is minimized, larger control, things are under control. But look at it, right? So you're talking
Mm,
about Alexander Cummins. He's a potential, and Councilor Tewon Gonglo. He's another
yeah.
potential.
Yeah.
So and Yomli Kanga and Jeremiah Kun. So among these four individuals that we just talked about, it seems like you are leaning more on these two individuals, Councillor Ganglo or Mr. Cummins, because
Yeah.
more or less you think they are ready from day one to assume the office of the presidency.
Yeah. Preparation wise, I think so. These two individuals started preparing themselves a long time. Mr. Cummins being at the Coca-Cola company for Africa mainly. He took over the responsibility, to make sure that Coca-Cola company, reached out across Africa. And from there, I think he built his empire, and he was trusted, and he demonstrated well that indeed he's capable, he's able to do the job, and he did it up to the point that he left. So he left
Mhm.
without. I don't think he left. He was fired. I don't think he left when he was suspended or so, or when he was coerced to leave or so. No, I guess he left to venture into another thing. So landing himself in this particular venture that he's on now, I think he's prepared administratively. He knows how to handle things as well. Gonglo, as well, the same. He has been a strong advocate for social justice and making sure that indeed human rights are protected in Liberia. And he also spending a little amount of money to make sure that somebody got a justice as well. So all of these as well made him to prepare himself. He's also very occurrent with the political realm of the Republic of Liberia. I'm talking about Councillor Gonglo here. So this is why he decided to say, you know what Totman or Tobo Doe or the rest of the guys, including President George, Weah never did. I am going to do it because I am not going to be president for only the Mosorado County people or Monrovia people, but rather for everybody. So before I get to that seat, let me reach out to them right now, make promises to them, explain to them how my government is going to function and how we're going to do things, how we're going to be holding people responsible if they happen to go wrong or so. So, I mean, given all of that, I am absolutely convinced that Councillor Tiawan Gonglo is 100% prepared.
Wow. Man, he's getting a lot of likes today on the show. Yeah, the council is getting a lot of likes on the show here today. Folks, wherever you're watching us from, this is Talk TV Media Network, made with politics here at Talk TV. This is where we discuss the happenings facing the nation of Liberia. We are Liberians, and so we must talk in the best interest of Liberia. Not to tear Mama Liberia down, but to build Mama Liberia up, because Mama Liberia is for all of us, as you may know. So the decision that we make today will change the trajectory of the country. The children that comes after us. It is not that when you go to the booth today to vote, that you are voting for you. You're voting for the generations that are behind you, your children.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make a great impact. And this is why in making that decision, it is incumbent upon you as a solemn authority that you have that power. You are electing them. You are appointing someone for a job, a piece of job to do, right? As in, when you put them in power, they turn the other way around. Instead of serving the country or serving you, the people, they want you to serve them. And this is the irony that is destroying Africa and African governments, and we need to get away from that. So, Mr. Pacquiao, Ambassador, that takes us to this, man. This statement is hard, very, very hard to even digest all of this on the show tonight.
Yeah,
very
it
hard.
is.
But I want us to talk a little bit about it. The statement by the current ambassador assigned to Liberia, Ambassador Michael A. McCarthy. The statement reads: in the past few weeks, I visited Bami, Bapolo, and 4 counties in the southeast, and I have now been. Hold on. People beginning to call in already. I will keep them on the hold. Okay. What am I saying? And have now been to every county in Liberia. This fulfills my promise to the U.S. Congress to be an ambassador to all Liberia, not just Monrovia. That in itself is something. I am happy to report that each capital city has its own unique bundle of trade and cultural ties, and that Liberians throughout the country share a warm, welcoming spirit. Unfortunately, on the trip, I was startled and deeply troubled to encounter multiple county hospitals that received not one penny of what were promised in the 2022 budget. Hospitals on which lives depend, where outbreaks are prevented and suffering is alleviated, did not receive any portion of the US 100,000 100,000 or more appropriated by the legislature for them to operate. As reported in the press last week with Tulawayan Memorial Hospital in Lufa County, these facilities currently survive on the backs of incredibly dedicated health professionals, making do with whatever they can skip or scrap together. Least you think this is the work of one political party. That notion was quickly dispelled by Liberians I talked to. The blocking of resources is so complete that it must be institutional. And the lack of any alarm being raised indicates a syndicate involving players at the legislature, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs. In one town, administrators look with anticipation mixed with fear at the brand new modern hospital that sits vacant, knowing that they can barely keep the existing makeshift facility going, and running the new one will require 10 times the resources. The United States government is about to spend a total of over US 40 million constructing Liberia's state-of-the-art National Reference Laboratory that, when completed, will require US 3 million to US 4 million a year from the government of Liberia to operate. If the government is failing to deliver statutory appropriations of only US 100,000 to existing hospitals, why would we ever trust annual pledges of US 3 million for the future NRL? Can you imagine just that? I will stop on that. This report from the ambassador is revealing. It's revealing to those who have not been to Liberia. It is revealing to those who do not understand the dynamics, how the government is running. But it's not revealing to some of us that have traveled the breadth and length of Liberia, just like you, just like me. And this is what we've been talking about. Monrovia is not Liberia.
No.
Monrovia is not Liberia. The people are suffering. Money is appropriated, but it's in the coffers of the few, the elite. There are more rogues, there are more thieves chasing government money than, the lives, leaving everybody and the people at the detriment of death, at the mercy of death. What's your take? What's your take from this report so far?
Great. CEO, the only thing I got to tell you and the rest of the Liberian people is that Ambassador Michael McCarthy did so well. Well, in the sense that he knows his job as a diplomat. His country sent him to Liberia to work diligently in the interest of taxpayers of the United States of America. And for me to even hear that, this man started from one county to 15, 16 counties, I am so much happy. I'm so much with joy. At least he decided to go and see all of the money that we're taking from our people through taxes and thing and bringing it to Liberia and giving to them, most of the money we give to Liberia is just free on grants or so. Let me go see how it's being used. And for him to reach to that point now to say, well, all of your money you've been sending here, zero actually been going to the people, to the baby mothers, to pregnant women, to elderly people.
Yeah.
Zero. And for him to even voice out, I'm happy that he actually voiced out. I'm happy that even the common people today, those of us that people refer to as common people, we are now educated as well to know the truth about how our leaders have been treating the country and us. So we all just have to appreciate Ambassador Michael McCarthy for his job well done. And I'm just angry with our leaders. This even increased my anger as well. That these people, whom they refer to themselves as sons and daughters of Liberia, patriotic sons and daughters of Liberia, will be so brave to only be looking after themselves, be so selfish to the extent that hospitals, you can't even find paracetamol there. I was in Liberia, like I said recently, and I took a tour. I went to see Dr. Shakamano at JFK, who is the chief medical officer. She took me on a nearly 3 hours tour of JFK.
Mm.
What I saw there, in fact, when we went to the maternity department, I went to the department that looks after premature born babies. I couldn't stand it. I burst out with tears, and she have to come to console me. One incubator at
Wow.
the John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital. Look, he is right. Call it, call it the name they're supposed to be called. Corruption.
But then though we keep hearing the government is building these hospitals, these larger hospitals, but the smaller ones that are there, they're not even maintaining it, nothing inside. The makeshift
This
ones
is
that the common
this is
sense the man just talk about. Now, how can
this
you
is
go build a big one? You're not able to maintain a small one.
yes,
Then you go build a
yes,
big one.
yes.
Now the
This is
common
why for
sense
me,
there. And not waste of
this is
money there.
that a waste of money. This is why for me, from day one, the moment they started about these hospitals and the 14 militarians, I was on the back of this government. Look, please, JFK is there. People are even referring to JFK as just for killing. Come on, listen to your Liberian people. If you get $10 million to spend to build a new one, put the resources into JFK. It's the
But
biggest referral hospital.
I think, Mr. Pacquiao, what's happening from what I see is the common sense to understand that governments succeed each other. And when you succeed another term, another administration, you have on the books what the administration plan was for the country. So I think it just makes sense to review it and build on it if it is a good suggestion. But because I feel it's pride and arrogance that we got to do our own so we can point out to the people what we did, not knowing that even if you do what your successor did, if you build on it, it's still your story because what matters is Mama Liberia, right?
That's it.
But then
Yeah.
you abandon all this money from your successor that was invested into the country and everything into the structure, infrastructure, and buildings and stuff, and you want to start doing your own thing by yourself. This is frustrating, and this is not good economics. It breaks the
No.
country down. This is what's destroying Liberia.
Yeah.
You know,
And
look at just one paragraph I didn't read. When you follow the other
it's
one,
it's
how much
it's
money was
damaging.
given to one of the towns? They have not been able to even print their marriage certificate in years.
Yeah.
In years, marriage certificates. But in
Yeah.
internal affairs, when you go to get married to internal affairs,
Yeah.
$200 plus US you have to pay for a marriage
Yeah.
certificate.
Imagine. Yeah.
These people in their town for almost 5-10 years, they can't print a certificate.
No.
They got their printer broke down. Nothing. What is internal affairs doing? When every weekend in Liberia and Monrovia, we're seeing people getting married.
Yeah. And money there. Yeah. Money there.
Hundreds people are getting married every day, and they have to
Yeah.
go and register and spend that $200 plus for that marriage certificate.
Thank you. Thank you. It's exactly so. And I think it's a good one that the United States government is speaking up as well. So to tell we the Liberian people that this is what's happening, tell us the truth about what is happening. Because for some of us who are actually in the vanguard of advocacy, well, we are saying it. Some people when they come at us and say, "Oh, we just lay in one side or so." But thank God, the same thing. Some of us been talking about blasting every day. At least a diplomat is saying it, and today they gone quiet. But it's happening. Corruption is just everywhere in the country, and I'm afraid if this country continue like this for the next another 5-6 years, we are doomed. We doomed. There will be no operational facility in that country, because you make one person the minister. If that minister is, have an interest or have a business that is attached to their office, nothing will go in Liberia that will stay to where it's supposed to be, but rather they will take it and start using it. So obviously, if you see the health sector today crippling and is down to its knee, is due to some of these issues. There are people that we are giving job to at the realm of that particular ministry. They have their many drugstores. They have their own private clinics and whatsoever. So obviously, whatever goes in Liberia, even as a donation, they rather take it to their private hospitals and make money out of it than to live here at JFK. So this is where we are. And thanks to all I can say, thank you, Ambassador Michael McCarthy.
Wow. Man, we gotta get this going till Friday. What's your wrap up? Because I can tell the way you just came, you too fresh.
Yeah, I am. A lot to
We
be
gotta get this going until
So,
we can sit around to see what the Unity Party is about.
Yeah. Tomorrow,
Friday.
Yeah, perhaps
What's your
tomorrow
final
again.
word so we can wrap up?
Yeah, tomorrow again, perhaps we can do another one. But this is what I would say. I just want to reiterate my call on the Liberian people, especially the Unity Party people. The issue of the choosing of the vice president or running mate. I don't want you guys to feel that the ambassador will be doing it or have decided to do it all by himself. The National Executive Committee must have met. The National Executive Committee is aware that indeed whoever is going to be appointed, it have reached to their attention as well. All of them vetted the individual, and they decided to take the running mate as well. So I don't think people should be casting blame on Ambassador Joseph Nyoma Boakai. Let them accept it, work together, and be able, the presidency they want, the government they want to run, and be able to capture the presidency and the government they want to run, and then begin to bring the change that we want to see in Liberia. But I don't think the vice presidency choice should be something that should break the Unity Party apart. No. Thank you.
You heard, before I even let you go, man, I just want to keep, there's so much I want to keep picking up my way. Yes, you heard anything that, at this time of the year, political parasites, that's how I call them, political parasites, takes place. It takes place in the country. That the Senator Edwin Melvin Snow secretly met with the old man and apologized. Whatever statement he said in the past, that is trending in the backdoor corners, because Senator Snow openly went and supported CDC, the John Weah government. Yeah. We saw that, we out of his mouth, this and that, but now how he been moving from party to party. The man And no, the senator know how to read the political dynamics of the country. So he finished meeting backdoor according to quote unquote what we heard. You know, what do you think?
Look, Sam.
It's just rumors, though.
Yeah, I know. Edwin Mervyn Snow is a human being. We worked together for so many years when he was within the National Patriotic Party as the youth chair. To be honest with you, I've been having serious problem with him in terms of the way he does his politicking. I don't think, politically that is how to do things. To just be there. I mean, to pretend to the people that you actually there for them, but rather in the other way you are doing things the wrong way. However, the relationship between him and Ambassador Joseph Numa Boakai, personally, I wouldn't want to get in between because I don't know how they have been in the past. And for him, I mean, being even a grandson to him, okay, let me put it that way, instead of being a son. I don't think he will be making a mistake. Not only him, done that. We saw the current vice president, Joel Howard
Right?
Taylor. Yes, we saw her kneeling down and apologizing as well. Uh, uh, for him to go there, do the same thing, it's not going to be anything that should be surprising to people. Uh, to err is human, isn't it? To forgive is divine. And so, uh, if he realized a mistake and said, "Daddy, I'm your son, forgive me," he can forgive. But that doesn't mean that forgiving him doesn't mean that he should be, bringing him over to the party. Of course, that's going to
My,
bring
my, my man,
serious
my man, in a
rubber.
prodigal son, your son left you. A prodigal son say, "Daddy, I come back." You will not
I
tell him,
know,
man. You
yeah.
say, "Come back, I forgive you, but you're not coming back in my house." Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, yeah. If you put it that way, it's going to be a difficult one for Ambassador
It will
Joseph
be a difficult
Nwabuaka.
one for Joe
Yeah,
Biden.
but forgive him as a child of God. Forgive him, and then move on. But it doesn't mean for me. It doesn't mean I should come and give you, appoint you as a minister or whatever. No, sorry, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, folks. So
But
there
that's
you
it.
have it. There you have it. Those of you who have been following us, welcome to the show. This is Talk TV Media Network. Thank you for joining us today here for this midweek politics. And we'll always keep bringing you our midweek politics henceforth. Tomorrow as well, we will be here. I will be on my one solo second opinion with Sam Gadu, talking nothing but politics, not
Yeah.
politics, business as well. Talking business at the same time while we will be having another show tomorrow as well, right here, same place, same station. With me today has been your man right here, Maxine Pacquiao, Chief Director, JFL, activist.
Yep.
I mean, I
Thank
don't
you.
even know what kind of names we gave him. The man got so much under his belt.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
he got so much under his belt. So, man, comrade, and brother, thanks for joining me today. Your final
Thank
words,
you.
so we will let our people go.
I want to wish Liberia well as we prepare for these elections, and I hope and pray that we'll have a free, fair, and transparent one. And I want all of us to behave well so that we cannot have any memories coming back to us. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thanks to the Talk TV Media Network for the job you do as well for Liberia. Thank you, and looking forward for another show
All
another
right,
time.
for sweet cassava leave, and not for go alone. Yeah, Liberia not for go alone. Sweet
That's it.
cassava leaf and never go alone. Liberia never go alone. Liberia for all of us. You're a Liberian, whether you in Liberia, whether you out of Liberia, wherever you are. A Liberian is always a Liberian. So wherever you are, look in the best interest of Liberia. That is all that matters. Because the voice that we hear today, the voice that brings about change today, is what the effect we will see tomorrow. So stand for the right voice. Stand for what is right. Even if you have to stand alone. Stand for what is right. I repeat, even if you have to stand alone. This is why we are an independent network. Until then, we'll catch you here tomorrow. Same time, same place, same station. You have a good one.
Shalom. Shalom.
Oh, guess I believe. Guess I believe. Oh, guess I believe. Now for good and lose. Guess I believe. No, but good and I'm a better way. Never want my way go. Guess I believe. No, but good and you my big idea. You want me to have the guy? Sweet, sweet, guess I believe. Now for good and lose. No fire, no fire, no fire, no fire, no fire.